Well, I don't really need an audience for this. I'm doing it live only because of the fact that it's just quicker than waiting for an upload. And it's not exactly about what you might think, but it does relate to a lot of different stuff. It relates to a lot. The title of my show should have been just that I'm live, but it should be called The Mindful Self. And that's more of an appropriate title, The Mindful Self. And what is that all about? It's about me, it's about you, it's about everybody. Now, I'm going to give you an example of a guy named, what was it, Brian Johnson? He has a Netflix movie on there, a documentary. It's called Don't Die. Now, if I were you, I'd go and maybe check it out. This is a guy that made a lot of money, like 800 million. He sold his company to PayPal or something. Anyway, the guy is like, he's filthy rich. Okay. His house is everything high tech, medical, everything else. This guy takes up to 180 different supplements. It's a little overkill. Yeah. 180, I'm surprised he doesn't have kidney stones. I mean, I wrote to him on his of a YouTube page he has. He has all kinds of networks. The guy is spending more time what he's doing, and I'm going to elaborate on this too. He's spending more time, you know, doing these bizarre things to his body, plasma transfers. He gets CT scans all the time. He's trying to make his age younger than his chronological age. His body organs. He's paying attention to every body organ in his body, and he's testing all the time because he got the money to do it. His house is like you know, I don't know, a monastery of medical paraphernalia and testing, documenting, and has to do with longevity. Okay, it has to do with longevity. But the problem with Brian is that what he's doing, this is not a local YouTuber or nothing. The problem with him is that he's basically given up his whole life to try to make his body internally and externally younger than his actual age. But in the process of doing so, he is not really living his life. Now, one could say that, well, this is something that I started, not like him, but I started decades and decades ago with my quest to get into different supplementation. I probably think I'm alive today because of some of the choices I made, and I may not live as long as I want because of a choice I didn't get out of. Okay, obviously, what that is. Okay. But I've done, I'm on the 70 percentile of what I should be doing, what I am doing, but 30% of that I'm not. I got to start really getting back into a little bit of a little light weight training. I got to continue to, treadmill, things like that, keep the blood moving, of course. And and the diet. Well, I do eat meat. This guy doesn't eat meat. Everything's vegetables, and you wouldn't believe what this guy eats. He has a rigid schedule for when he gets up in the morning. He goes into a chamber with this red light, and I forgot what that's supposed to do. And it's just he does some bizarre stuff. The show is called Don't Die. It's on Netflix, and just out of bizarre curiosity, you should actually check it out. You know. Now it makes you think about things in a different perspective, really. And that's where YouTube comes in. For me, for you, for everybody that's on YouTube. First of all, he points out very clearly how the average person is just a fucking idiot. They're falling over drunk and stupid and they're getting hurt. And every corner you go to, there's maybe like eight fucking fast food places on one block. And people are indulging into this crap. Like, John Blaze has just cooked up this, he was so proud of it. He cooked up this meal that was high in saturated fat and cholesterol, and he wants to be a new age guru. John Blaze wants to be a new age guru, but what is he eating? Okay, I'll try to read the comments because I'm still in my train of thought. You do know that he has two universities, Stanford and UCLA, and his own medical team. Yes, he does, spending 2 million a year at least. So I think your recommendations will be lost. What recommendations? No, I'm not saying that he shouldn't take certain supplements because I actually take a number of supplements that he actually takes. I eat certain foods that he actually takes. So don't try to negate what I'm trying to say on here. What I'm trying to say on here is okay, and I have a long direction, a way to go myself. I'm not in the house every minute of the day, first of all. Okay, I have my own routine. If I told you I'm a very impulsive, I'm not a person who likes to sit around for any period of time, even watching a television show. I have to get up and do something else. I multitask, so I try to keep my blood flowing. If I have a place to go, I go to it. And when I get dropped off, I walk around and I do this and I do that and I do this. I'm not traveling all over the Philippines. You're right, I'm not. But that's in part by choice. Okay, so yeah, he's been doing this for years. But see, at my age, I am not going to go to the lengths that Brian does. Brian Johnson, was it? Uh, no, because he's messing with a science that has not been proven. Some of it, yes, the supplementation that he takes is very good, but he takes some things in excess, and he takes like John Blaze was taking 50,000 IU's of D3, which is a no-no. It's a no-no. He injects his teenage sons with blood every few weeks to get his basically his plasma, his biology into his son. That's science that's above my head and it's above your head. And if this was a case, every millionaire, billionaire would be doing this stuff, okay? And throughout history, there has been very rich people that have tried different things to prolong their life. But in his case, he couldn't even keep a relationship. He was divorced, but he couldn't keep a relationship because his rigid schedule. I mean, he wouldn't have a relationship, and a woman couldn't deal with that. I think in our lives, if you just try to keep to a moderate diet, don't eat excess of any meats, take supplementation, something that makes sense to take, and for a reason to take it, whether it's for the heart, whatever it might be. I take resveratrol, I take quercetin, I take blueberry extract. I do that every day. I take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. I mean, the list goes on. It's not as big a list as you think it is. I'm not like this Brian, I'll say Johnson because I forgot his last name. Okay, I don't do what he does. That's a little bit excess of anything, and excess could be bad too. But in the process, he's not enjoying his life at all. Now, what do you call enjoying your life? You're retired. You're going to do what Brian Johnson does, where he doesn't experience any life at all. He doesn't have a mate, doesn't have sex, doesn't practically leave the house because he's got such a regiment of certain supplementation and exercises and crazy technological things that he does to his body. It's kind of defeating the purpose of what he's doing when you think about it. Yeah, he's a tech millionaire. He sold his company for six. It was 800 million, actually, not six. 800 million. Don't drink, don't smoke, get some exercise, even walking, and you're in the top 99%. Well, there's a lot of truth to that. There's a lot of truth to that in Invisible Friend. And I kind of keep toward that. The smoking thing, I got to find a way to quit that. That's for sure. I got a lot of life left in me, I think. But I think I've been doing stuff, guys, for about 45 years. There goes that siren to let me know it is 5 o'clock, baby. I got a siren that I don't need a clock. Listen, can you hear that? It's amazing. I feel like I'm in an internment camp or something like that. I don't know. It's crazy. But what he's doing, he's got the money to do it. And I understand his quest to keep his body young and active, but when you're not going to be in a relationship and you're not enjoying life in that way and having a mate, and, of course, while his son uh, was visiting him, and the last year before his son has to go to college, they spent a lot of catch-up time together because they were Mormons. He got out of Mormon religion. His son kind of gravitated out of Mormon religion and started taking on some things his father did, and they'd have a great time together. That was his mate. That was his best friend, his son, and I think his other son entered the picture too at one point. But he lives in a luxurious place, high tech, everything inside there. I mean, everything for health. But the point of the story is, and it does relate to YouTube, it relates to me, it relates to my viewers, it relates to everybody. And by the way, I did get a few donations, folks. Okay, so for the people thinking that nobody's sending me any money, you're wrong. Okay, but getting off that, you could follow a certain regiment in life, but what is the use of prolonging your life if all you're going to do is only take all these supplements and not have a loving partner, and you're going to eat the right foods? That's great for everybody because you want to feel good every day. It's not even the length of life, it's the quality of your life, how you feel. You know, you got aches and pains and joints, you got this, you got that, you got some kind of an ailment or something. Yeah, do what you can to address that, is what I'm saying. But in Brian's case, this guy Brian, he's absolutely overindulging in everything. And it makes me wonder. I mean, he graphs it out and everything, and how he figures out that how his, compared to his chronological age, that he feels that while he's up to 2% or 4% or 2 years or 4 years younger than his biological age should be, or things like that. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read the comments as I go along. At one point, he had three doctors and a nutritionist, personal chef living with him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's going to be amazing to see how long this guy lives. He may live a really long time, but there's a difference between living life and having a life. And for me, for example, I don't have the physical capability at my age of doing some really radical type of outdoor activities. Okay, you got to be a realist. You could do so much. It doesn't mean you can't exercise. One of the main things to do, yes, weight training is important. You got to have and maintain some muscle tone. That really has a lot to do with your longevity. People say, what does that have to do with it? Man, it looks good, right? But you have to do that. You have to keep your blood flowing. Like I said, I do a lot. You don't understand the walking I do. I actually do a lot, not just a treadmill, but I'm very active because I'm a person who's very impetuous. I'm impulsive and so forth. So I'm full of life. I mean, you could hear it in my voice. When you listen to Popeye's song, it sounds like somebody that's dying. But that's not me. I will be alive as long as my biology tells me that I will be alive. And I will fight tooth and nail like anything else in life to do that. Not just to live longer, to be able to get out of bed every morning and be able to get out of bed and not have to use a personal mobility device in order to walk or something. I want to be able to take care of myself, and I don't want all the burden to be on my girlfriend. I don't want that burden, although I know she will be there for me. Listen to the energy in my voice. No, it's not, you know, pharmaceuticals that I'm taking. It's nothing like that. It's energy. There are times I have energy, and there are times that I'm depleted with energy. Okay, and I go through different cycles. Okay, I am older. That's why I talk about sometimes I'm watching something boring on TV, and I'm like nodding out because something has to pique my interest. That's just the way it is. I don't know how it is with you, and I can't speak for you. But let's get down how this has to do with YouTube. Okay, yeah. When you think about it, and this applies to me, not just you people, and I always include myself when I talk about things like this. The amount of time people are spending on YouTube waiting or creating drama, they are wasting the best part of their lives as to who's doing what, who's saying what, who's winning this, who's losing that, what person's family relationship is, whether they're friendly or in the life of their children, you know, you just name it. It's here on YouTube. It's happening every single day. Don C, these people live for YouTube. Popeye lives for YouTube. We can name everybody on here. They all live. Even my viewers live for YouTube. When you guys also need to get out there and get away from this thing, just like me, and go out and do things with your life. Don't worry about what's happening with me. Worry about what's happening in your own life, in your own relationship or lack of relationship, and examine why you have a lack of relationship, and moving to the Philippines is not an answer to have a relationship. Sure, you could develop a relationship with lots of Filipinos, but are they the right ones? That's a key question. Okay, again, I lucked out on that part. That's goody for me. Baddie for you if you haven't done that, or that's your plan to move to the Philippines and have this great life, but you weren't prepared for it, and you go broke, or something happens, or you get sick and you don't have the money to go to hospital, or you just tank out on relationships because your personality sucks so bad that you're such a hateful person. I mean, a really hateful person, not a name calling session that you find on YouTube. A really hateful person with no life, nothing to look forward to at all. That's my point. And people on YouTube do that every single fucking day. They want to know what's happening with Barry. Who cares? Find out on your own. Find out through the grapevine. There's a big grapevine called Discord and other avenues that you could find anything you want out about Uncle Barry. And whether he's happy in his jail cell, whether he's really being transferred to Bicutan, who cares? Even I don't care. I don't care what happens to that piece of shit. Understand that. I don't care if he lives or fucking dies. He's irrelevant to me. The only relevance he has is getting through this court case and making sure that he pays for what he fucking did. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. And then putting his girlfriend involved. She's involved in this too. She's very involved in this. And this is going to have a cataclysmic effect. I'm sure of it. I'm reasonably sure of it anyway, that his getting his girlfriend involved in this. But I don't want to talk about them. But in general, as a group of people, and it's not just a Philippines YouTube genre, it's all over the world, where people got really involved with this wonderful media that allows us to talk to people all over the world, say what we want to a certain point, attack people. Even people have committed suicide over some of these attacks that people have done on them. Young teenagers, where maybe their pictures were exposed, intimate photographs that were taken by a boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever it might have been, and they get so embarrassed that they commit suicide. This is what social media does. It takes over your social life, where you're not socializing one-to-one with people anymore, and you're just socializing with people, a bunch of nincompoops, on social media that have absolutely no fucking life at all. Zero. That spend their time and put their nose in everybody's business. Okay? How's that so far? Yeah, no comments, so you must be caught up in this. If it's hitting you, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. This is a wake-up call to all you people out there. You got psychopaths like the fucking Brever boy. He's a total fucking psychopath. He's a stalker. You got people like the guy that's on trial, who's out of his monkey-ass fucking mind. You got people like Don C. and Popeye, all void in their life. Although Don C. has a relationship with a woman, he never talks about it. You never see her. He's afraid to go on camera. All he wants to do is make comments against somebody else, whether it's me or anybody else. And he doesn't even live in this country. He lives in Thailand. Why is he interested in concentrating on Thailand? Because the guy is a fucking wreck. We're not saying he's broke or anything like that. I don't think he's broke at all, but that has nothing to do with anything. He doesn't make himself better than you or me or anybody out there because he may or may not have more money than us, okay? I've never tried to pretend to be anything that I'm not personally. I can say that for myself, and not many people can do that. I present myself as to who I am, what I am, and what I believe in. And then you could follow my thoughts and beliefs or respect it, or you don't. It doesn't affect my life one way or the other, unless somebody's trying to do a complaint on me to try to do something to my life that is not very much approved by me and will be fought tooth and nail and go through every court system I have to remedy that situation. Believe me when I tell you that, and you'll see what I'm talking about, or may you not, because this may be my last fucking video. I'm going to do things more silently now. I appreciate the following. The few people that donated, don't have to give up on that. You know, let's make the miracles happen. Donate. It's going to go to a good cause. I just trust me on that. I could do this on my own, but put a little fire under my heels, folks, and make it really happen. Show me that you're behind me, that you believe in my cause. Never mind frivolous shit. I'm not Big Kevin going out to buy a new fucking microphone. I'm not Big Kevin complaining about he's broke when he makes damn good money, moves out of his element and moves to a foreign country and he has no clue what he's doing. This is the kind of people we have on here. And he wants your money. He won't even see his own kids. And that was the idea in the beginning. Won't even take care of his goddamn, issues he has with paying off immigration, whatever he has to do. Giving out money in the form of drinks just to have companionship, ringing bells in the bar, paying for his company like Licky does. It's a sad fucking life. Don't ever judge mine. That's a sad fucking life these people have. All the people I mentioned, it's a sad fucking life. I don't need that kind of influence, although I'm not influenced by it at all. I follow my own path. Understand that. I follow my own path. See? No comments because they're listening intently, and I'm glad that you are. I want everybody out there to examine themselves. Don't talk to me about it. Talk to yourself and say, why am I following all this drama? Not just my channel, but any drama that's on YouTube. I don't care who they are, where they live, what country. Examine to yourself, why am I following all this drama? Why am I getting involved with all this drama? Ask yourself that question. Then you got to figure out what you're doing wrong with your life and then how you are wasting your life. Now, me, I'm not wasting my life. I'm with somebody that I care to be with. She is my life. The majority of my life is through her. You try to separate me from her, you got a long trail you're going to have to follow as a result of anything like that. You're going to have some problems. Legal, of course. Definite. You're going to wish that you never did that. Is that a threat? No, that's a fucking promise. I like my life the way it is, and I'm going to keep my life going as it is. I don't plan on going anywhere. Let's keep that in mind. Not if I could fucking help it. And I will do whatever the hell it is to have a mission of such to prevent anything like that from happening just because somebody told their girlfriend, let's get even with him. Let's get even. Where does he stand? He doesn't stand in a good place in his life at all, and he never will. But he involved somebody, which he shouldn't have done. And that's the end of the story on this guy and his girlfriend. The only thing I could update you people on, and the rest you're going to have to find out for yourself. He's nowhere. I don't know if he's being transferred to Bicuton. I hope he does. Remember, if his lips are moving, you know the rest of the sentence on that. And you know it very well. Hopefully he does. And hopefully his girlfriend goes with him, as far as I'm fucking concerned, to try to interfere with my life in this way. No, it's not going to go down easy without a fight. That's what I'll say about that. See, nobody talking. I'm sorry if I just stymied you with all this, but let me tell you something. Find out your information from somebody else. I'm not your information station here, okay? Live your life. Don't worry about what I do, what my family does. Don't worry about my relationship to other family members. It's none of your business anyway. Don't worry about how much is in my goddamn bank account. And stay away from Brevis. Stay away from Brevis. He's going to stalk you. I'll add some humor to that to break the tension here. But just stay away from the creeps. Don't let them come over your place. Don't tell them anything about yourself. Just stay away from these people. That's the best advice I could ever give you. All right, so you want to find that information, contact Barry himself or somebody that's connected with Barry in some way. or, look up court records, something, whatever turns you on. But live your own life while you can. And I don't care if you're younger than me, I really don't. But if you're spending all your time making judgment on me, whether my age or whether I have bags under my eyes or what color my hair is or what happened in Hawaii in a civil case or how much money's in my bank or if I had any bankruptcies and blah 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 blah. Live your fucking life while you have it because I'm going to tell you, as I told you time and time again, life is very short. And you're going to realize it when you lost all these years because you were just too busy wanting to listen to the drama on YouTube. How many years of your life have you wasted? How many years of my life have I wasted getting involved with YouTube? I look at it that way. I include myself in this whole scenario. I include myself, and a lot of people don't do that. Okay? I can be honest with myself, and how many people out there can be honest with themselves? How many? Not many. What's going to happen will happen, whether I like it or not, or whether they like it or not. It's faith, karma, whatever you want to call it. And so far, some of the very people that were very adverse with me are dead. Karma, choices in life, who knows? According to what you believe in. They're dead. They will never bother me again. I know a few people that are got one foot on a banana peel and the other foot in a grave. Today, as we speak, I think you could probably guess who some of these people are. Yeah, their life cycle is going to end. Look at John Blaze cooking up all that pork fat and shit and the crap that he eats. And he's making fun of me that I smoke. He was a smoker. I still think he probably does smoke. You can't believe these fucking people. He's making judgment on me. Who is John Blaze, Larry Evans, to make judgment on me? Who is anybody out there? For those without sin, if you want to get religious, as some of you are, those without sin, please cast the first stone. I guarantee there's not going to be any stones cast out there at all. You guys have a good life. Live your life. Don't try to live mine. Don't worry about what's going on with me. Worry about your own life, your lack of relationships with people. You're being very non-active with your own life, spending too much time getting involved with drama. You're not living your life. And I'm going to start living my life a hell of a lot more. Let's just say I was inspired by this story. And it was kind of awkward watching this because it really worked against what he was trying to do, Brian Johnson, on his documentary on Netflix called Don't Die. Check it out. In the act of trying to preserve his body, he was not living his life. Living his life. That was a problem with Brian Johnson. Not living his life. Can't have relationships because he's too busy worried about making his internal organs and his body to be a number of years younger than his, what, I don't know, call it chronological age. But the guy was spending too much time doing that. What are the end results for Mr. Brian Johnson? Well, that'll be interesting to know in the future. I think the basics of everything in life is to do things in somewhat of moderation. Even some of your bad habits, moderation, not acceleration. Don't accelerate what you do. Moderate what you do. I think I said that very well. Don't accelerate, moderate. Do some things that you think will be better for you, physiologically, okay? Even external. There's things you can do. There's things you could do. Yeah, I've been yawning all afternoon, actually, because I got bored of actually watching that Netflix thing because I think the guy had the right idea. And longevity with, DNA studies and everything else in the future is going to be marvelous. I'm probably not going to be around to experience that. But meanwhile, gentlemen and ladies out there, if you are actually, I'm sorry you're missing this show. It's pretty heavy duty shit, man. Mr. Breast Kitten Lottery. You'll have to review it after I'm off here. Stop spending your time worrying about everybody else's business. I'll repeat it. Stop spending your time with the drama of other people's lives and create your own life. Get a girlfriend, get a mate, get a friend, get a hobby if you don't have one. Don't worry about how much money somebody has in the bank, how long their relationship's going to last, whether they had bankruptcies. I'll repeat it. Okay, how old they are, what people say about yourself. You shouldn't care. Live your own life. Don't live somebody else's life because it's going to take its toll on you. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are hell bent on capturing every adventure that goes on here. The next chapter of Barry J. The next chapter of Frank B. Get a fucking life. And I say this with all seriousness. Get a life. And the copycat people who spend so much time waiting, salivating, till me or Barry or somebody puts on a show, especially me, waiting for more news, for more avenues to explore on how you could knock somebody, make lame comments, and spread such hatred. Why? Because these people obviously and very clearly have more time on their hands than they want. Perhaps they should get a life, get a girlfriend or a wife or somebody that gives a fuck about them. Spend more time with your family than spending it on fucking YouTube and waiting for the next drama episode to come out. What John Blaze has to say, what Brevis has to say, what Don C has to say, what Popeye has to say, what Kevin has to say, or what Ricky has to say. Who the fuck cares and who really should care? These people are basically grabbing you by your fucking nuts and say, scream, cough when you do this, when I do this. And you guys are jumping at this. You're throwing money. You're throwing money at people. And you don't even understand why you are doing that. You don't even understand why you're doing it. But you got so caught up in this shit, the drama, the court stuff, all this crap. Who's happy with their life, or who you saying is unhappy with their life? Who are you to judge that? Who are you to judge my life? I am happy with my life, and I intend to keep it that way. I assure you. Till the day I draw my last, I assure you that. And I'll tell you something. You creating a void in your own life. People that listen to all this crap shows like Philippines Antics, all these idiots. You got a woman on there that's half dead with fucking lupus and diabetes and high blood pressure and God knows whatever else. But she thinks it's more important to put on a fucking yappity yap gossip show. This is where people go wrong. This is where people go wrong all the time. This is where people go wrong. It's where I've gone wrong. But as of the last of this broadcast, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to continue to do the things I do in my life. Supplementation, diet, you name it. Try to put some good into your body besides anything bad that you do to your body. At least you guys need to make an effort. Now, none of you guys are my personal friends, so I personally don't give a shit. But when I talk about medical things on here and supplementation, I do it as a service. But I do it for myself. And it gives me the energy to stay in that direction. And the direction that I take with my life. You don't have to listen to my here. A lot of you do. And a lot of you have actually learned a few things from me. So I guess I've done a few good things on here after all. But John Blaze, Man, you're not preserving your life, what you're doing. Kevin, you're not preserving your life by being that fucking lonely and buying girls drinks all the time. It's sad, Kevin. It's really sad. Get a life. Don't buy the women. Licky, what's left of your short life, find a real woman that'll tolerate you. And I know that's really hard to do. You could do what you want with your money and you know, pay for girls, rental girls, and all that shit. Where's your life going? You're losing your life. You're extraordinarily obese. You eat the rottenest foods in the world. You create drama in your life like the name Ricky Drama, because your life is drama. It's been drama all your life. And you might harm yourself in the process. You might harm yourself, or somebody might harm you because of your fucking attitude and the way you talk about people. And that goes to a lot of people on here. That goes to a lot of people. Keep on attacking people on here, and one day somebody shows up to your doorstep, and big surprise. Oh, you think that won't happen? Certainly not for me, but you never know. You know, there are people out there that are very quiet. They don't make comments on shows. They don't put themselves on shows. They don't have their own, but they listen very intently. And some people that are really psychologically damaged, and we know a few of them, they're sucking all this in. And they're getting involved with this without making a comment, without putting their face on camera, without doing their own show. And they'll learn to hate some people on here. And according to how bad the psychological level is, you, my friends, and I use that term quite loosely, could be a victim of one of these psychopathic fucking stalkers or something on here. Good luck to that, man. Good luck to that. I am telling you, I'm telling you, you are spending much too much time even listening to me. I include myself. You're listening to all the wrong people. There are good shows on YouTube if you want to get involved, but I think you guys need to do something better. What you're not what you're not doing now, you should be doing. I'm not that important. I'm really not. You're not important to me. You're really not. I don't know you unless you became a personal friend of mine. Big Kevin, Don C, all the people I mentioned above, Ricky, you know, the stalker Brevis. They're all unimportant people. And you're wasting, as a clock is ticking second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, you're listening to this shit. And you're sucking it all in. Well, you could be out there playing soccer if you're athletic enough. You could be out there going boating, sailing, scuba diving if you're able to do any of the above. And you're young enough and agile enough to do it. Finding a woman, spending time with her, speaking lovely words in her dear ears. You know, whispering kind words, making love, spending time with her instead of spending all your time on YouTube listening to all this crap. Crap. And that's exactly what it is. Okay? No, I don't see him doing that either. And welcome, Mr. Abrams. Yeah. Hiking number one. That's great. That's fucking great. That's great. Absolutely. 1 second, please. I'm back. I honestly think you people spend too much time with this YouTube crap. And the worst thing that ever happened to YouTube is live streaming. It gives people real time to attack people and do what they normally do every day. Look, I realized this a long time ago. But you know what? It become a habit in your life like anything else. Smoking, drinking. You got to get on YouTube. You got to hear the gossip. What did Ricky do today that was so psychologically unfit? You know, talk about Obama. He's suffering his own misery. Trust me. Don't worry about it. He's been incarcerated for 21 months. He's suffered. But not enough for me as far as I'm concerned. You never saw my wild side. You never did. I'm not a person to fuck with and shit like this, and you label me as something like that. I'm sorry. No, no, no. Believe me, I stood up to people in my life that were a lot taller than me. And I probably would have got my ass busted all over the ground. Lucky it didn't happen, but I didn't take anybody's shit. And I take this highly personal. When you're going to label me what he did to me, then get his girlfriend to try to get me fucking deported, that's not acceptable to me. And it's not going to be acceptable. It is not, and it will not be. Somebody has a lot of thinking to do, because things, the table may turn. There's a good chance that the table just might turn. Think about that. All right, folks, take care. Get the fuck off YouTube and go get a hobby, get a girlfriend, get married, do something, have children, create a family. Get the fuck off of YouTube as a daily basis. Tune in if you have to. See what's going on out of curiosity. But do something in your life that's going to be credible, that's going to be healthy perhaps, that's going to occupy your time. But the worst thing you could do is to get involved with all these clowns on here. That's all they are a bunch of clowns. You got Peckerwood, one of the on the top list of fucking clowns, although he's not that active, but he listens in on everything. You got the Turtle Man who has nothing to do. He's married, but he's got nothing to do with his life. Nothing. Is to send Barry videos of me or make lame comments about me. Go slap your pigs, whatever you do on that rural area away in bumfuck Egypt, you know. Live your life, Mr. Turtle Man. Live your life. Jesus Christ, all you people, live your life. I am not that important. You are no offense. I don't know you personally. You're not my friends. You're my viewers. I don't give a shit what you do with your life. I'll give you good advice pertaining to YouTube and social media and save you a lot of time in your life to be able to do things for yourself, not to get involved with such nonsense. Total fucking nonsense. Drama, hate. John Blaze, let me tell you a little message here. You are on the list of one of the most hateful fucking people on here. You absolutely are. There is no question about it. You're always trying to prove to everybody why. That you got the best barbecue, the best food, the best woman, the best life. Everything you do is supposed to be, in your mind, superior to everybody else that does it. Look at Jay. Jay. Chain smoking, drinking like a fucking fish. At the same time talking about, I don't go out and eat all those horrible foods with preservatives in it. What is he doing? What is he doing? What are you doing, Jay? Look, you were buddies with Barry, and you know damn well what was going on with Barry. That's all I'm going to say. Your part? I'm not going to talk about your part. You might want to talk about your part in all this. You talk about him a lot, but what's your part? He was your buddy. You witnessed a lot of stuff. And you've actually talked about a little bit of it. Did I leave anybody out? Okay, Popeye. Jesus Christ, Popeye. I mean, seriously. Robert. Get a fucking life. Bingo ain't the whole world, but you know what? If it pleases you, that's fantastic. But running your mouth, doing your skits and everything you do, wishing that people, everybody that you don't like, dies. And you don't just say that out of anger. Oh, no, 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 no. Because you mean it. You haven't been able to get a fucking woman since your wife divorced you. You beat the shit out of her. That was the word on YouTube. Well, we all know about the divorce. We know your demeanor. We know your personality. Worry about your own shit cakes. Pick the corn out of your own shit, Popeye. Or have somebody else do it if you're that immobile. You run your mouth just as bad as Barry does. You're not living an active life with your knickers on, whatever you fucking wear. Your high top socks and your black shoes and your khaki pants and your mobility scooter. And your most exciting time is to go to bingo with all the old folks. That's because you're old. It's not old in your age, Robert. It's old in your demeanor, how you live your life. And you are a hateful motherfucker. You are a hateful motherfucker wishing, what's his name, that died, that he had a toe tag on and all that. I mean, you are evil, as evil is defined. You really are, Robert. You are really an evil bastard. But you know what? Life catches up with you, Robert, like all these people that are dead in their grave right now, or they're burned into ashes. You'll be following that route soon enough, so will Ricky. So will these other people who are walking around with a stomach from here to eternity and need their own fucking zip code for an ass. Okay? There you go. I've had my say today. People, you know, follow a better path. You wouldn't need to listen to all this nonsense if it make it become so much part of your life. If you just learn to step away and get a hobby, get a girlfriend, and if you really want to move to the Philippines, then actually move to the Philippines and start your life and find yourself a wonderful woman. You can do it. I know you can. But your expectations, you're not even ready to move out here monetarily, physiologically. You all have, not all, but many of you come out here with pre-existing health conditions, which is stupid, like on Philippine Antics. It was stupid. This is a girl that went in a store with a fucking pretense bomb to get some drugs. No, she has a popular YouTube show. Oh, go figure. Unfucking believable. Goodwill store, captain's hat, yeah. I'll answer that question before I go. What's one thing you would do different starting YouTube all over again? I don't have a future with YouTube. This might actually be my last broadcast. I think you're going to probably have to find out things on your own, what's going on with the legal cases. And quite frankly, I really shouldn't be talking about this on here, nor should Obama. Neither one of us. But he went out there with paperwork that wasn't even in my lawyer's hands or mine. The so-called famous charge sheet. And that's, brought up in court already. He shouldn't have done that. It was not his business to do that. That's just one prime example. Just remember, for the record, anything that happens to Mr. Jordan, he did it to himself. And if something legally, with DOJ or something happens with his girlfriend, she did it to herself. She is obviously not depressed, obviously can't be having, PTSD. She has no signs of that, okay? She has no reason to fear for her life. Never even met her. Okay? Then it goes on with all the statements. And she's being much of a liar as she is with her boyfriend. You all know I never called her a whore or a prostitute. That never happened. If it did, show the video. Or shut your fucking mouths, Barry or whoever. Film at 11. Show it. Show it where I called Barry Jordan's girlfriend a whore or a prostitute. That's a challenge. Show it. No AI, none of that shit. Show it. Play it. Or shut the fuck up. And I know you're listening, Barry, because I'm sure you have your fucking phone. And I'm going to exemplify this, Mr. Jordan. You put yourself in your position, and that's where you belong, and worse. Your lawyer is not even negotiating with mine. Because really, there's no negotiation to do. He didn't even file a motion. No. He's nowheresville. Barry's nowheresville. He ain't getting fucking married. And to his girlfriend, you're not marrying him. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So Barry, shut the fuck up. You got a long journey ahead of you. You might get a slap on the wrist for all I know with the judge. Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows? I have no idea. I'm mindful, but I'm not a mind reader. You people need to be more mindful. Concentrate on your own health, your own happiness, and your own life. Forget about my show. Forget about what Barry ever puts on. Forget about the trolls. They are controlling your life by sucking you into their vortex of drama. I can't say it any better than that.